What's up? I'm Brianna Ivy, and this is the Hear from a Student podcast. Gio, what's up?
Hello, Brianna. How are you doing?
I'm good. I actually am not that great. I took a spin class like an hour ago, and you know, we live to fight another day.
Gains is pain. That's okay.
Yes, this is very true. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Let us know your name, where you're from,
Mm-hmm.
what you study, and where you graduated from.
Gotcha. I am Jordan Toussaint. I am from Tequila, Georgia, which is in Gwinnett County, proudly. Went to Georgia Tech, graduated from Georgia Tech, thank God, and I studied civil engineering.
Okay. I have to ask, Gwinnett County, is that considered like Atlanta, or is it not? Is that not Atlanta? Like, what is the
Gwinnett County is not Atlanta.
not Atlanta? Okay.
So it's okay. I don't need to be from Atlanta.
And you're right. People don't have to be from Atlanta, but now you just gotta ask.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, so take me back to Giordan of 12th grade year of high school. Did you decide your major first, or did you decide you wanted to go to tech first?
I decided tech first, only because I did not know anything about college. I did not know where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do at all at the beginning of 12th grade. It wasn't until I want to say maybe the fourth, fifth week of school, senior year, I was like, dang, I need to like figure out where I'm going because it's not gonna work out. Um, and the reason I chose tech, one, it was in state. I knew that was cheaper to offer it. I was good in math, I was good in physics, all that stuff. So I was like, okay, engineering might be the way for me to go. It seemed interesting. So I looked up, best engineering schools. Tech was up there. Michigan was another choice that I had. Virginia Tech was another choice that I had. So I had a couple, not just tech options, but when it came down to money and Pell Grants and Zell Miller and Hope and all that stuff, tech made the most sense.
Yeah. And then so you chose tech, and then how did you choose? Did you go into tech like with your major declared, or did you like kind
I
of feel
did,
around first?
I did go in with civil declared,
Okay.
and I did this in the dumbest way, but so
But you
we took.
made
Yeah, no, it worked out. But we did these like career tests in high school. I don't know if other high schools did it, but we did them. And my top three choices were all engineering.
it.
It was civil, mechanical, and I think electrical was the other one. I don't remember the order. I just know those were the top three.
Mm.
Um, and I just looked into it. Electrical, I kind of threw out quick because I seen the coursework for that. The require. I was like, nah, this is hard. But mechanical and civil, they were pretty similar, like course wise for the most part, until you got into the later stuff.
Mm.
Um, but I know civil, you worked a lot with construction. I always thought construction was kind of cool. Infrastructure, stuff like that. Um, and design was also something that they had in civil engineering that I thought I might have liked to do. So
Mhm.
that's when I walked in with that. When I got to tech.
Okay. And so then you got to tech, and after you got through your core classes, all the maths and all that, and you
Yeah.
got into like some civil courses. What were your favorite civil courses that you took?
Definitely the construction courses. I
Okay.
took a construction management course that I really liked. I took like an intro to what do you call it? I'm blanking out. Ooh, that's how you know I ain't like school.
Hey,
Um,
it's been a minute since we've been there.
it's always been a while, but I'm not gonna try to drag it out, trying to figure it out. But
Yeah.
definitely the construction courses, because I didn't really like the design part of it as much as I thought I would with my CAD courses and all that stuff. Like I thought they were cool, but it didn't like entice me. Construction was interesting, management especially, which got me into like the path I'm in right now with my career.
Hmm.
So just seeing the ins and outs of how things are built, um, how the money that goes into it, the work like for contracts and all that stuff, on top of the actual process itself, like getting trades to come in, all these things, like just the putting everything together to build an actual building, like a structure, was like fascinating to me. So that's why I went that way that I went.
Yeah. And when you say on the other side that you didn't like design and CAD, was it like CADing buildings and like structures?
Yeah, we CADed buildings, basketball courts, parking lots. They had us CADing teapots to start out, bridges. And it was cool. Like I have friends that are civil engineers that do the design part with CAD,
Mm.
and I'll see them or listen to them talk about work. It is definitely a cool thing. Like if you're into that, it's cool. One thing with me, I look at CADing almost like how I look at coding, where not it's not as tedious, but it's frustrating when it doesn't work out how you want it to work out.
Yeah.
And when you get it, like the rush and the satisfaction is great. But I don't know if I would be able to do that process
Yeah.
up until that point every single day.
Yeah. That's valid. Coding is, I do so much more of it than I thought I would do. And it is very tedious because that one line will get you every time. And these 500, 5,000 lines of code, and then it's the one that's wrong. And it take you, I don't know how long to find that one.
Yeah.
So that's not a fun thing. But then when you get it, it's great.
Yeah.
Um, what was your least favorite class that you took? Was it one of the design classes?
No, no. Like my least favorite classes were definitely core classes. I'm not even gonna cap. Civil wise, honestly, I think I liked all of my civil classes except for like there's like the thermos. I didn't really like thermo that much. Thermodynamic.
You need thermodynamics for civil? Let me think.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think all engineering courses need it, and
I
I think they have their own versions of it. Like there's a civil version. I think there's a mechanical version. It all varies. I didn't like my what we call that project that we do it when we graduate. I forgot what that
senior
was called.
design.
I don't not class at all because it was nothing like towards my like what I was studying for
Yeah,
like in the last 2 years of my core classes. Like it was a whole bunch of other stuff that I wasn't into.
yeah.
Um, and chemistry. Ooh, I hated chemistry. I hate chemistry a lot.
Listen, of all the electrical engineering classes I took, of all the core classes I took, chemistry beat
Man,
out linear algebra for the thing that almost took me out of tech. Chemistry
I'm
was great.
telling you, I hated chemistry.
Chemistry was awful. We did not take a thermodynamics. I'll take that back. It wasn't like a class, but in classes we considered like heat and
Mm,
circuit, but it wasn't like a whole class dedicated to that. And for that, we thank God.
yeah.
What were like some of the, you mentioned construction management, design. What were some of the like other buckets that fell under civil?
Construction management, design. There's Civil does a lot of work with infrastructure. I don't know if you can kind of count that as construction, but when you're talking about like transportation, so like
Mm,
road, bridges, that's a whole like other category of civil engineering that people will find full thriving careers in.
yeah,
That again, I was not too interested in at first. Like I didn't think that's where I wanted to be.
yeah,
But it's definitely a good one if people
yeah.
want to go that route. I said design already. I said construction. I said construction management. I know I'm missing something. Oh, what am I missing? It's something with water.
Um,
Um, and like I think water power and all that stuff.
mm,
You can find a niche in there with civil engineering. With water work. That was nothing I did. Me and water, I can't do it. I know obviously like it's not the same thing. Like I'm not a lifeguard or nothing like
yeah.
that. But no, I didn't want nothing to do with water for sure.
What and so in those construction management was your thing.
You said what?
I said, and in those construction management was the thing that you liked.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely construction management and construction. So I
What's the
could like
So construction management is like the business side, and then what is construction like? You actually go and do the
yeah.
like the
So
constructing.
yeah, so construction management, the way I break it up is project manager, superintendent. So superintendent is like the person in the field, like they're on the field every single day. They're with if they're like of a trade, like on our project right now, the superintendents right now we're working with HVAC, which is like plumbing stuff.
Mm,
Um, we're working with electrical stuff, and we're working with drywall. So our superintendent is out there in the field every day, making sure all that stuff is straight, and they have to know basically every little piece of everything. So they're like, I need to know how the plumbing is going to go into this wall and how it doesn't interfere with the electrical conduit that goes through this same wall. And we need to have the drywall go up and obviously cover up these things. We need to have caulking in case there's a fire so it stops the fire so it doesn't spread. We need to, and all these things have to basically fit together like a puzzle. And the superintendent's job, whether it's the general contractor superintendent or the trade company superintendents, they all have to come together. They literally meet every morning, all of them, every single morning, to figure out how to not step on each other's toes, like, to make everything run smoothly. Project managers, they're like, I would almost say like overseers, basically. They have to make sure that like the budget is working the right way. So it's like if we have to pay, y'all for this, we budgeting for this before the project even starts. Obviously, things happen,
Yeah.
life happens, issues. If there's an accident, if something messes up, then we have to talk about, okay, who's gonna pay for this? Was this our fault? Do we have to pay for it?
Yeah.
Are y'all gonna pay for it? Is the owner of the project itself, are they gonna eat that cost?
Yeah.
Sure the schedule lines up. Like, are we ahead of schedule? Are we behind? If we're behind, why are we behind? Is it my fault that we're behind? It's a whole bunch of like I would say project managers definitely have like, I don't want to say more on their plate because I think everyone's work is just as important, but I would say those type of things are stressful to a different not extent, but like a different type of stress.
Yeah.
I'm not just worrying about my stuff. I'm worrying about everyone's stuff
Yeah.
because it comes back to me.
Yeah.
The situation. And that you also dealing with paperwork, people turning in like submittal stuff for, we have to have this warranty, this manual, this, if this happens, this is how you clean it, this is how you fix it.
Yeah.
So my head hurts on all this.
Which side of that do
Mm.
you enjoy the most?
So right now I'm a project engineer. So I'm definitely I've been more exposed to the project management side.
Okay.
That's just the ladder. It goes like PE. It's usually PM, but you can kind of choose which way to go if you want to.
Okay.
But recently, especially, because I've just been bored at work, honestly, I've been going into the field
Yeah.
and talking with the superintendents and trying to learn, different things. And it's really interesting. Like I used the Pythagorean theorem the other day to help the drywall guys. I know. I thought I would
What?
never do it in real life. And I used it
That's
because
crazy.
we had to square off a side for some walls and all that stuff with the drywall, with the framing for the drywall. And I thought that was cool. And a part of me is like, maybe I want to go in the field because the field is I mean, it's active. You get to
Yeah.
walk around, you get to talk to people more. The PM side, the PE side is more in the office, which I also don't really mind that much.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it's a change of pace. But right now, I would say I'm leaning towards the PM side just because that's what I've seen.
Okay. Okay. Pythagorean theorem. That's a reach back.
And I never thought I would use that outside of a classroom.
Listen. What would you say is the most or was the most challenging part about studying civil engineering?
Me personally, it was, well, first was studying in general. I had to learn how to study. I did not have any study habits in high school
Yeah.
at all. I was breezing, I was cooling. I thought I was that guy. That taught me very quickly that that's not how it works. I would say for me, it's different for everybody, but for me with civil engineering, it was repetition. Like I would have to do the same type of problem, but like obviously different numbers, little different things here and there before I really understood it. And I don't know if that's just the way my brain works, but it's like I need to see a lot of things a few times before they make sense.
Yeah.
And that's with studying, that's with like driving. Like if I go somewhere, I got to go there like 3, 4 times before I know where to go for real.
Yeah.
And a lot of parts of my life in general, but I would definitely say finding the patience to do it like that, especially on them late nights, it's 11, 12 o'clock, you got a test tomorrow, and you're like, bro, I just don't know this.
Yeah.
I just want to go to sleep, and kind of pushing myself to be like, okay, no, we can figure this out. You just got to do it more. So, and I would also say time management because time management with studying was something that I had to like bring into the real world,
Mm.
especially with my job. Like we're on a schedule all the time, so I have to have time management skills and make priorities. So it's like I had to realize, okay, if I'm doing the same problem, like I said, I have to repeat it. But if I repeat it 8 times and I don't get it, and I
I'll
ain't
repeat
start,
the knife.
yeah, like we gonna come back and do it 9, 10 times, but I'm gonna do this one at least 4 or 5. Like
Yeah.
so, I would say time management and repetition.
Yeah. Time management. I feel like in most real world cases, time management is super important because even now your schedule might be much more, like enforced than mine. I feel like mine is a little bit more like room to move, but I feel like no matter where you end up, some kind of way, you're gonna need to understand how to manage your time. So I guess if we didn't get nothing else from tech, we got a degree in time management skills.
Yeah.
What did labs look like for a civil engineer? Did y'all have labs? Were y'all building like in my head, I imagine that y'all build bridges.
Man, I wish we built bridges. We had, oh my gosh, there were all types of labs. When you think about civil, there's different parts of it. We had labs that focused on like concrete mixing labs, and obviously you're testing things like kind of like stress and strain, all that stuff.
Mm,
Um, we had what other lab we had? We had labs that involve soil because of like erosion and things that are important, especially when you're talking about the foundation of buildings.
mm.
Um, we had another lab that I'm forgetting that I know I didn't like. I'm sorry. I should have went back and looked at my canvas or something.
That's okay. It's just, we're calling off the top of the dome.
Yeah, but we definitely had. It wasn't. It's not what people. I feel like people just think civil engineering, like you said, we're just building bridges with toothpicks or something.
I
And
was
I
gonna
would,
say popsicle sticks.
yeah, I would love it. That was a lab. We did that once in a class in like the first week.
Yeah.
Like an icebreaker. But no, it's definitely a little more to it than people think. I wish I could give you a better example than
That's
my little
okay.
vague. And I know a couple of them happened during COVID too. So
Oh yeah. Listen, COVID semester. First of all, I blocked out a lot of tech things. So it's also hard for me to recall a lot of stuff too. So it's okay. um Did you have any misconceptions about what civil engineering was before you like went through the coursework that got cleared up?
yeah, no, I definitely just like y'all. I thought bridges. That's it. That was my whole literally bridges, bridges,
Yeah.
bridges, roads, and bridges again. Like that
Yeah.
was my civil engineering. I didn't even think about like I don't know who I thought was in charge of construction. I legit just thought people came together and decided to build a building. I didn't realize all the nuances that come with it. I didn't realize how like sophisticated the process was when it came to bidding and um not just bidding for the project, but like having other trades come to you to, I guess, bid their services.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got like I remember on the first project we had to choose between like 5 painting contractors. I was like, dang. We had to look, okay, this one might be cheaper, but you know, we've heard from these people like their work is better or their
Yeah.
work is not as good, or what's it called? They follow the schedule better. They're always late. Like these type
Yeah.
of things. I was like, I thought we were just gonna choose the cheapest one.
Yeah.
But no, there's definitely, and that's not even getting into like the other aspects of civil engineering. Like when it came to design, like what it took. Like I started off with CAD, like 2D stuff, and then we jumped into AutoCAD 3D, and I was like, oh, this is hard. Like we just building outlines and like
Yeah.
drawing views and putting roofs on houses, but you have to put the material in there. You have to put the weight of the material. You have to put, how it'll affect, where it's built. So you can't just put like a bunch of super dense concrete together in a cube and then put it on top of some loose foundation
Yeah.
and just like, oh, you have to factor all these things in or else it doesn't make sense. You have to use actual physics and stuff like, net force, all that. And I was like, oh, this is a lot more work than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was enlightening to see it like that.
Yeah. Oh wow. Physics. Also not one of my better. experience at Tech. Yo, you had to stop at physics. You'd have to take physics too, right?
Oh, dude.
No, you
Mm-hmm.
didn't.
One and two. I gotta love hate with physics.
I feel
But
like physics two was like the wires and electrons and stuff, wasn't it?
I had to take it.
Sorry. No, it's okay. I had to take it too. What is something, or is there anything you wish someone would have told you about civil engineering or studying a STEM field in general before you started at Tech?
As far as civil engineering goes, I wish I knew beforehand, like how diverse it really was. Because there were some classes I took, I just took them to take them. Like I
Yeah,
need to get these credits, so I'm taking these classes. So like when I walked into like my internship and stuff like that, I had not as much like prior knowledge just because I didn't take all the same or all the right classes or whatever.
yeah,
I wish I knew that so I could have picked like a path earlier that focused my coursework on that path as
yeah,
opposed to trying to get up out of school with a degree.
yeah,
Um, STEM in general, I wish I knew about STEM in high school because like I don't know if I would have done like I mean I just did say my whole thing about how coding is to me,
yeah,
but that was my introduction to coding was MATLAB, and I feel like that should not be anyone's introduction to coding at all. I feel like that is dangerous. That's how you drive people away from coding. But um, I realized like later because I still had like a couple of friends that were a year younger than me that there was coding at my high school, and I never knew that because no one
yeah,
told me. And I was like, maybe if I knew that, it could have been different. We had a robotics like club. I didn't know nothing about that. Like that
yeah,
sounds something I would have done if I was in high, like if I had known about it in high school.
yeah,
So those different type of things, I wish I had like. I just wish I cast my net wider
mm,
um, when it came to STEM because I'm not saying I don't like what I do now. Like I'm okay with my job. I'm happy with it.
yeah,
But like who knows where I could be, you know. But you know, everything happens for a reason. But
yeah,
I just wish I had that opportunity, I guess.
yeah. I feel that. Had no idea of anything engineering related coming out of high school. I was just like, Google, this looks fine. Tony Stark, electrical engineer. That was the extent of my extent of my what I knew prior to tech. But then I got in tech and I realized this ain't that and that ain't this.
Oh,
So you mentioned internships. What internships did you have before you got to your full time?
I had a project management internship in Alabama. It was my only internship. I did summer classes, and then I enjoyed my summer. That was the thing. Like in the beginning of
Smart
college,
choice.
yeah, I was like, I'll do some classes here, and then other summers I was like, I'm just gonna be chilling, bro. And a part of me was happy. A part of me was like, dang, I've seen all my friends, you know, internship experience. That's cool. But then I would just be chilling the summer. So it was like, you know what? For my mental sanity, I'm okay with
Yeah.
this.
And I
But but when I did do my internship, like I said, I walked in, I didn't know that much. And I told them as much. Like I wasn't gonna lie, act like I knew everything before I got hired. I told them in the interview, I was like, I had no experience. I had no internship before this, but I work hard and I listen. And I guess that was all they needed. And I would say I learned a good amount. I guess 3 months. It's the summer. It's short. The project was already going on.
yeah,
So I'm kind of just hopping on. And our project was going through so much turmoil. Like we had one guy leave the company. That's supposed to be like a supervisor for me.
yeah,
Left. We had to get another one to replace him. Then we got an actual permanent one to come in after that. And it was a whole bunch. They was under. I'm putting people business out. It was over the budget. It was past schedule, late on the schedule. All type of things were going left. And I'm like, of course I gotta deal with this.
never done this before. Of course, this is happening on my team.
They telling me to use software I ain't never seen in my life before. All types of stuff. But I would say like that chaos kind of prepped me for like how it really is because not everything will go smoothly.
Yeah,
And now my job, I'm using that same software that they showed me that they know nothing about, and I
yeah,
figured out how to use it. And I'm using it well. And you know, things going left here every once in a while, but like I'm calm now. Like I kind of know how to deal with it because I done been through way worse already.
yeah.
So it's like unless y'all legit like just break this building somehow, like break I'll be straight.
Yeah. What did studying civil engineering teach you about yourself?
Um, It taught me that I'm a lot more patient than I thought I was. Um, because civil engineering is annoying. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I know electrical engineer. I always think civil engineering is like the easy engineering, and I still think that when I see what the rest of y'all have to do. Um, but it just taught me that, like, things, like, it taught me about process and how things take time. Not everything's gonna come at once. Not everything's gonna make sense at once. Not everyone's gonna give you what you need to like continue. And that's
Yeah.
still engineering. That's work that's taught me that. Um, but if you're patient, you do what you're supposed to do. You go above and beyond every here and there. Don't give them too much because these are just companies. Don't give them everything, but put a little extra effort every here, every now and then, and it'll work out in your favor.
Yeah. That's that's good. Now, not too much all the time, but sprinkle just
Just a
enough.
little.
If you could pick a skill from any other major, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be a STEM major. It can be any major.
Honestly, I'm gonna say two.
Okay.
I've been talking about coding all this time, but I will say coding that is useful. Like if you can code, you can do whatever. I
Yeah.
will take a kind of sneaky one. I would say. I guess it can be a major or a minor, but it will be Spanish. If I could speak Spanish fluently, I'll tell you, I talk to so many more of our workers so much easy. Like it would be way easier to speak to them, and that would make it go a lot smoother. Not like it's not smooth now, but I just know when there's a barrier, come from someone who like speaks a different language already. When there's a barrier, you have to like work a little extra harder, and just the time it would save, and just the comfort that it would bring to them, especially. Like I think it would be great.
Yeah. I took Spanish for 4 years in high school. I don't know a single sentence that I could tell you besides "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" I'll have to think real hard about
High
a sentence.
school classes don't stick. I've learned that nothing in high school sticks.
You know, Pythagorean theorem. That's the
Yeah. Holy cow!
as a civil engineer when you're working with. Well, I don't know if you do it now, but in school when you would work with like other different majors, maybe electricals or mechanicals, what do you think was unique about your perspective as a civil engineer? Or what's
Um,
something maybe that you would think about that other majors didn't think about?
so I would say one thing that we had to learn, and I'm not gonna say other people don't know how to do this or they can't. I'm not trying to offend nobody, but when it came to like practical problem solving, like not just like logic, not just like numbers problem solving, but
Hmm.
like real practical. Like I know this is how you're supposed to do it, but I feel like this makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's that's everything that we had to learn because they would give us different scenarios like, oh, this building costs this much money to build, and this company has to do this, but they gotta talk to the city, and if they don't talk to the city, they gotta get this permit,
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff. And they're like, so what would you do? No numbers or nothing involved. It's literally just what would you do? Who would you talk to? How would you talk to them? And that's something that we had to like kind of learn because I mean that's how it is right now. Like even today we had a dispute between two trades. They were bumping into each other with their work, and one of them felt like the damage that the other one did, they had to go pay for it. They're trying to charge them like 15 racks, like come fix this.
Yeah.
And the other one's like, well, we didn't do, and we had to sit them down in the office with them, their superintendents, their project managers, and talk it out until we made a solution. And I feel like, especially with groups, like group work, senior design, for example, um, those type of skills, especially at tech, I would say are less expanded upon than other places, in other majors. But with us, it's like we have to be people.
Yeah.
Like a person, I have to be a good communicator, or else I'm not gonna get nothing done. And no
Yeah.
one's gonna be happy. And I don't need to make everybody happy, but I need to make everybody tolerable.
Yeah. That's
So,
a
so I would
really
go ahead.
that's what I was gonna say. That's a really good one because I think sometimes because like for electrical engineers, for me, a lot of it is numbers. But even within the numbers, it's like, okay, you did this math and you calculated you need like some astronomical number resistor that doesn't exist, so it's not realistic. But on the paper, it could work. If I turn this in, the teacher would be like, okay, mathematically it works. But in real life, this thing does not exist. So then how do you okay, what's realistic that can actually go in this circuit? So that's a good point. Because sometimes you don't even really think about it like that.
Yep.
Wow. 10 out of 10. Okay. If you work for Webster's Dictionary, I feel like we had a great time with this question the first time you tried to write it. First time you tried to do it. You work for Webster's Dictionary, they say, yo, Gio, we need you to write the definition of what a civil engineer is.
Oh my goodness.
What do you write?
Oh,
Based on your experience.
I got you. I wish I remembered what I did last time. Oh goodness. Okay. Civil engineer is a problem solver as well as a mediator, as well as a designer and a builder. And I would also say a manager. So all those things. I'm not gonna give one definition, one straight answer. No, it's a whatever conglomerate.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. I think the last time it took us like a long time to come to the concise. So
I
this
was
is
thinking
great.
my school brain. I have no real world experience yet.
This is true. Now you have a less stressed brain and you can actually put words together. So
Mm-hmm.
do you remember the answer to this? Let's see how you do with this one. If you could replace any fictional character inside of their universe, you get to take all of your civil engineering knowledge and you get to go replace any character you want. It doesn't have to be a STEM character. You just get Giordan, the civil engineer, gets to go be this person. Who would you be?
Dang, I don't remember what I said. So I get to okay, it's just me, Giordan, myself, my knowledge, my civil engineering. I get to replace this person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like somebody. I want to be like an architect, someone because that's close to civil engineering. But who's an architect? Hmm. Okay. Okay. I'm a nerd. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're right now. I'm a nerd. But I watch anime.
Okay.
This anime, I watch One Piece. Very long. It's very good. They have, I would say, he's like a shipwright, but also an architect. His name is Frankie. So he
Okay.
builds everything. He's in charge of building all their stuff, like the boat, their weapons, a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I would be.
Okay. Okay.
Because I could do design, I could do building, I could do management because he delegates and makes people help him. And also he's cool. So I'll do that. And he get to fight people. So
Okay. I think the last time you might have picked somebody from Naruto, I think. Maybe.
I
I
might
can't
have. Oh, I might have.
But I think okay, that's a pretty good answer. Do you
All right.
watch now? I'm only asking because my brother talked to me about it all the time. I have not yet watched this show.
Uh,
Uh, and I can Attack on Titan.
oh yes. Oh
Okay,
yeah. You watch
that's
the Attack on Titan. You need to
okay.
watch that.
Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, my brother told me everything that's gonna happen, so I feel like
I hate him for that. But let me know when you start, because
okay,
just
okay, bet. In 10 seconds or less, why would you say?
Jesus.
why? Why would you say someone should study civil engineering?
Because you learn real world skills. You get paid, and honestly, you can really branch out and do a lot of different things, and you can learn a lot of different things, whether it's about construction or management, or whatever. You will expand your knowledge of the world.
Yes, that's really good. And that might have been under 10 seconds. I didn't clock you, but I believe it. uh, was there ever a time at Tech where you thought maybe I can't do this, and then what was the moment where you were like, oh nah, this is what I do.
Literally, I don't know if it was the summer between my freshman and sophomore year or the beginning of my sophomore year. I was like, this ain't. I'm transferring. I'm going I'm not trying to offend nobody, but I was like, I'm gonna go to state. I'm gonna go to GGC. I'm gonna go. I'm transferring out of this
Yeah.
place. Like this place sucks. Um, it was somewhere in that like span, but I want to say the end of my first fall sophomore semester, like fall sophomore, and it was like the beginning of it, but the end of my spring sophomore semester, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I'm smart
Yeah.
because I buckled down, I tightened myself up. I was like, I gotta focus because there's too much money invested in me right now to not do good.
Yeah.
And I was able to, I don't know, I figured out something and
Yeah.
it worked. Stuff started clicking that wasn't clicking before. So I would definitely say the beginning, yeah, that time period, I definitely thought I was out of there.
Yeah.
But like, perseverance.
Yeah. Perseverance. Some of my favorite moments at Tech was when life started to make sense, classes started to make sense, and it was like, I am smart. I can do this. I can get this degree because for so much of my tech career, it was like, I don't really know if we're gonna make it out of here with this degree. Cause like you said, these other schools, they calling me.
It was good, them other schools.
They looking good over there. Okay. Where so graduated, you out living your best life. What is your role now? Where do you work now? And what does your day to day look like?
So I work at Gilbane Building Company. We are a general contractor. We big in the southeast, big up north, moving out west now, Midwest too. So everywhere basically. Um, right now I'm a project engineer, which means I I don't work. I guess you could say I work for the project manager, like under the project manager, but I handle the submittals. So companies come to me, they turn in their, like I said, warranties and manuals and blah blah blah. RFIs, those are requests for information. I handle those. That's our communication basically between the trades, the architects, and the owners, and it all comes through us both ways. So we have to handle who hears what information, how they hear it, all that stuff. I do a lot of day-to-day stuff with the trades and the job. As far as the job's concerned, like the progress of it, I track it, whether that's with photos or videos or just logging what's going on.
Mhm.
Do a lot of tracking. I help with the schedule. I help with budgeting where I can. I'm still learning the budgeting part of it.
Mhm.
Just 'cause I'm new, so I still gotta learn. Um, and my job really is to that's like my job description. Like that's what I'm supposed to do. But I've like chosen to sit in like owner meetings. So I'm with it. So when it's the owner architect and our manager, that's who the meeting is supposed to have in it. But I'll sit in those just because I want to learn what's going on.
Mhm.
I'll talk about different solutions to problems and make sure everything's on the up and up. I'll like I was telling you earlier, I go to trades when I'm bored and I'm just like, hey, tell me about drywall, tell me how plumbing works because I just want to learn because maybe I want to be a drywall manager one day.
Yeah.
Make me a different type of path. But that's really it. So I have my day to day like I need to do these, and then I have my I'm gonna choose to do these to kind of get a
Mhm.
little bit ahead of the game.
Yeah, yeah. And when you say trade, you mean like people who do very specific things on the site, like plumbing, drywall, stuff like that?
Plumbing, drywall, electricians, millwork, flooring,
Mhm.
uh, ceilings, all them guys,
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah. Have you ever seen Are We Done Yet?
Yeah.
That's what I think about when you're like all the people. He had all the people running around his house. That's what I
Yeah.
thought about.
That's how
Okay.
people do it. Running around.
Yeah. I never really thought about, I guess, when you just live regular life and you're not a civil engineering major, I guess I just thought that buildings just pop up. Like you see people like constructing them and it's like people with the hats and, doing the thing, but you really don't think about how much really goes into it. Cause I would never have thought about like, you know, of course somebody has to pay for it, but you got to pay all the different people. That's a lot
Mhm.
going on. So
Yeah.
that is really interesting. Is this the role that you thought you would have coming out of tech?
Yes. Because that's usually what people have coming out of college is this role.
Okay.
um, which I'm okay with. It's either this or people can go straight into being superintendents as well because they just like the field better,
Yeah.
and that's straight. Like I just like I said, I got to see more of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is like every time I looked up like entry level civil engineering jobs, it was always like project engineer, project engineer, project engineer,
Yeah.
entry level designer, project engineer, project engineer.
Yeah. Do you use the skills that you thought you would use? All the stuff that made you learn?
Yes, I learned how to use the software that we're using, the two main ones that we're using right now. I learned how to use those at Tech. Um, and honestly, that's been my biggest help because that's where everything is. That's where the drawings are. That's where the specifications are. That's another thing. Drawings and specifications are so big in construction because they be like, we need to have this type of wire, this type of company. And then the trade has to make sure they have that. And then the drawing say it has to go in this way. But then you go in the field and that's impossible for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well now we need an RFI to change the spec to make this fit this. And I'm just like, why can't y'all just put the thing in the thing?
Yes.
Yeah, no, Tech definitely gave me some stuff that I carried over to work, and I appreciate them for that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. I feel that because, like, even for, I get it because I work in like the medical industry, but like, even for the simplest things, like, if I wanted to change a capacitor on the board, I got to submit a request and then I got to go before a board of people and explain why I got to make this change. And then they got to verify that I can't use an existing part in the GE library. And then they got to do the thing. And I'm just like, it's going to take 4 weeks to remove this capacitor. Just leave it and whatever go wrong, just go wrong. So I definitely get that. But they are not going to just put the thing in the thing.
they do not do that.
They will not do that. Probably for good reason. And that's probably why I'm not in charge yet.
What I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. When I'm in charge, we gonna be putting the thing in the thing. I'm not doing all of that.
Okay, last set of questions. This is what I like to call the lightning round pop quiz. Okay. I'm going to give you this or that statements, and you just say whatever resonates the most in your spirit. Whatever sizzles the most in your spirit, that's what you say.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Project assignment or homework assignment?
Homework.
Final project or final exam?
Final project.
Group project or solo project?
Solo. I guess.
Would you rather meal plan or cook your own food?
Cook my own food.
Okay, okay. Would you rather ask a professor for help or a TA?
Yeah.
Okay. Internship or co-op?
I only did an internship, but I'm gonna say co-op.
Okay. Fall semester or spring semester?
Spring was so smooth for me. Spring was so smooth.
Really?
Yeah.
Roommates or no roommates?
Roommates. Love my brothers.
Last question. 8 a.m.s Monday through Thursday or 5 to 8 labs on a Friday?
Mm. 8 a.m.s.
8 a.m.s. That's tough.
That was a hard question because that 5 to 8. Oh,
Yeah.
8 o'clock. I mean, I gotta take a shower and then we just going out right after that because I gotta enjoy my weekend. So it's like
That's
I need to rest. I can't get
that's
no.
true. Hey, I respect the decision. I respect the 8 a.m.
But
Okay.
I'm someone that only had like three 8 a.m.s his whole college career. So
I feel like I had enough. I'm not even gonna count, but I feel like I had enough to know that it's not the move.
no,
So
but
I feel like every year I had one, like freshman, sophomore,
I
except
had
for senior, except for senior, and we thank God.
yeah.
All right, Gio, I'm gonna open the floor for you one last time. Do you have any parting advice or words of wisdom for anyone in the future who may want to study civil engineering or a STEM field in general?
I'm gonna go just broad STEM in general, especially to like younger people, because I'm sure you're gonna show us to some kids. Um, First, make sure you like it. Do not do something that you don't like or that you don't see yourself liking. because it does not just get better the more you do it or the more money you make or whatever it is. You need to at least find something in it that you enjoy. So that's first and foremost. First and foremost. Secondly, take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your physical health, spiritual health, all of that stuff that you personally know that you have to deal with and make sure is right. And thirdly, don't do the comparison thing. Don't look at other people's journeys. Everyone's life is different. Like like me, I had friends doing internships and a whole bunch of stuff that I wasn't doing at the time. And there was some times where I felt down or I felt like I wasn't doing enough or I wasn't doing it right. No, you are doing enough. If you feel like, you've exhausted your best efforts to do whatever it is that you're trying to do and you're doing it well, you're doing it well. Now, if you want to add on to that, cool, take your time with it. Don't overwork yourself, but just know everyone's journey is different. Everyone graduates at a different time. Everyone gets a job at a different time. Everyone gets an internship at a different time. And everyone figures stuff out, especially in class, at a different time. So do not ever compare yourself or use other people as a bar for you to reach. You're your own bar. You're your own comparison. Just be the best you and enjoy college, because college is fun. It's fun. It's stressful, but it's fun. So enjoy it.
That is great advice. I second everything you just said because if you don't take care of yourself, first of all, comparison just deteriorates your mental health. And then if you don't take care of yourself, you can't do good in school anyway. And then you're just going to be miserable. So, like you said, take care of yourself first and foremost. That always comes first. And then everything else inevitably will fall into place if you're in a good space. So I second that. Thank you so much, Gio, for taking the time to join me again. And I really,
Yes, I'm sorry that I took so long to get back to you. I apologize.
it's okay. We're working adults now. At least that's what they keep telling me. All right. I will talk to you later.
Adios.
Bye.